question related to family-based immigration matters, family law, corporate law, or civil matters, please give us a call. 972-235-5555. Number in the studio. A very good morning to you, Pallavi. How are you?
A wonderful morning to you, Mitu. Thank you so much for hosting me with your business matters every Wednesday. Glad to be this morning and to interrupt your music here, which I'm sure was lovely. And here we are with a dry topic. But I think we always have calls from our listeners who have questions that impact them, and happy to answer them live on the air.
Great. Thank you so much, Pallavi, for doing this every Wednesday. So let me go ahead and start taking calls. 972-235-5555. Number in the studio. All right, Phanisha Radio, you are live on the air. Go ahead and ask your question to Pallavi.
Hey, Pallavi. Good morning.
Good morning. How may I help you?
Yeah, so my daughter, she's on H4. Brother and brother-in-law both are U.S. citizens.
Okay.
So is there any chance that they can adopt my daughter?
Okay, so is this, so for adoption to work, they have to go through the home studies and a whole family law procedure here. And if they do go through that, how old is she? How old is your daughter?
17.
She's 13? She's 17?
17.
Okay. So,
yeah.
All right. Now, there are new rules that are going to impact adoptions, and I think we need to look at them carefully before I can say that this would be easy to do. At this age where she is gaining or she's very close to adulthood, it makes it a little difficult. Under 14 is the time that we recommend that you start. But at this point, I think I would have to have you look at it because the procedure itself may take a little longer. And at 18, she's emancipated, as in she becomes a major and she makes her own decisions. So with this 1 year left, it may be too short a time for you to be able to accomplish everything, as in your mother-in-law or sister-in-law to be able to complete the entire process.
Oh, is it? Okay. Okay. So is there any way that my brother or my brother-in-law can help her to get a green card sooner? Or?
No. I mean, so the visa bulletin or the family-based preference categories do not recognize relationships that go towards uncle and niece or cousins, or they're literally related to parents or children and spouses. So there are no other categories except for those.
So usually how long is it going to take for the adoption process?
So home studies itself may take 2, 3, 4 months, and it depends on whether they clear the home studies. We first have to see if she is qualifying it, because as I said, it should be under the age of 14. And they are. So she's on an H4 currently at this point?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And there is no other green card process that has been filed for her that would give her the CSP coverage?
Yeah. So her mother I-140 is approved.
Okay. All right. But do you have a letter from the government saying that she's CSP covered or no?
Yeah, we got it.
Okay, you do have that. So which will help her, meaning that she can stay on this for about till she's 21. She can be on an H4 till she's 21. And then after that is where she will have to move to her own status. But if she's CSP covered, when the green card becomes current, then she will be covered under the parents. It would be the way. However, if you have to just analyze the adoption process, I would just counsel you to just sit down with an attorney and just go over it in detail so that somebody can help you with the timeline.
Okay.
All right. All the best.
Thank you so much for your call. Going on to our next caller, 972-235-5555. Number in the studio. You are live on the air. Go ahead and ask your question to Pallavi. Phanisha Radio, you are live on the air. Go ahead and ask your question to Pallavi. All right. For some reason, I think they can't hear us. Please do give us a call back. 972-235-5555. Number in the studio. All right. I think we have lost Pallavi's call. What I'm going to do here is try and connect back to her. You are live on air. Go ahead and ask your question to Pallavi, please.
Yes, hi Pallavi. Thank you for taking the call. I would like to know, I am currently in H1B for my employer for the client A, and my amendment is approved for Dallas, and I am working in Dallas right now.
Okay.
So if I get some other opportunity, something in Chicago, then I have to apply amendment and move to Chicago. Suppose after 2 months, if I go to Chicago and if I return back again to Dallas, so my current amendment is valid till 2019. So can I use the Dallas amendment after moving to Chicago and again relocating back?
Yeah, unfortunately, every time that you move, you have to file with the government. So basically, once you have moved and you file your amendment, right, then this particular location is gone from their list, and then you have to amend again. So it would have been nice if they would leave this one open, but any time that you move, you'll have to amend again.
Okay, but there is no way to use this amendment if I go to other city and come back, and even if the current amendment is valid till some years.
Yeah, so the assumption is the moment the second amendment is filed, that the first location that you have is no longer valid. And under that assumption, then it would not be. Now, what has not been tried and that could be tried would be for you to take that approval notice, step out of the country and re-enter with that first approval. But again, if the government were to come and check you out on the second location and then follow you onto the first location, it just does create a mess. And it's easier solved by just filing another amendment if you have to inform them that you have changed again.
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay, so one more thing, like if I go to India and I go to stamping, during the stamping, my amendment has to be approved, or it can be in pending also, like if I go to stamping
No,
in India.
it's be approved. To go stamping, you have to have what your petition says where your location is should be the location where you have an approval for.
Okay, so approved amendment and the petition.
They have to basically authenticate your entire job offer as well as the validity of work. And if you have something that's pending, that will not let them authenticate and would leave you in a pending status even at the consulate. So do not leave without you having an approval with you.
All right.
Yeah, so,
Thank you for your call. And moving on to our next caller, 972-235-5555, number in the studio. This is Your Business Matters with Pallavi Ahluwalia from Ahluwalia Law Offices. To get in touch with her, you do need to take an appointment. The number is 972-361-0606. Going on to our next caller. Anisha Radio, you're live on the air. Go ahead and ask your question to Pallavi.
Hey Pallavi, good morning. How are you doing?
Wonderful. How are you? How may I help?
I'm doing good. Hey Pallavi, I have a quick question. My husband has to travel on emergency to India and he is on EAD. Based on the scenario going on right now, what do you think? Is it a good idea to go? I'm just asking a suggestion. I know if I have to go, I have to go. But still, what I
understand. So let's ask one question. We have an advance role with him, which is valid.
Yes.
Okay, you'll have to check. We've had issues or we've had some concerns from people who have left the country without authenticating their advance parole and have been stuck and now have been deemed to abandon their 485. So you have to make sure that he has a validly approved advance parole. And based on that, he can go. Now, if this is the 485 that's stemming from an employment-based case?
Yes.
Okay, so then he also must have an employment letter that says he's working in XYZ company doing XYZ, which is as a caution so that they can authenticate that he's coming back to resume the adjustment pending AC-21 based EAD. So the EAD, AP, and employment offer letter.
Okay, so it's a good idea to take all the documents if we have to come back.
I would.
Okay. And is it a good way to get the stamping and everything done back in US, or can we go to any other country also, like Qatar or some other airlines?
And what stamping are we talking? What stamping are we talking about?
Sorry, at the port of entry. I'm sorry for good.
Okay, so he's not. So he does not have another alternate non-immigrant visa. So that's the reason, no stamping. Okay, so let's clarify that. Okay, so if he's coming on the advance parole, no, I mean he has to go abroad. When he comes to CBP, and CBP authenticates the documents. Whether he's entering from Canada or he's entering on a flight, back from India would not make any difference. It's CBP that has to release him. Just one thing that we have to all understand right now is that Rex Tillerson, the Secretary of State, has issued extreme vetting even at the borders. So, which means that the government is going to be looking at your social media, your gadgets, whatever you have with you, and you have to just cooperate and hand over everything. So, if there is negative social media, I would say just remove apps from your phones. Don't have those on there, and just you can hand over the phone without protest if they ask for it.
Okay. Thank you. I always appreciate your advice, and thank you, Phanisha, for that. Thanks.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Have a good day, both of you.
Thank you. And thank you for your call. 972-235-5555. Number in the studio. Going on to our next caller, Phanisha Radio. You're live on the air. Go ahead and ask your question to Pallavi.
Respected Pallavi ji, I'm calling from New Jersey.
All right. How may I help you, sir?
Yeah, and my question is I'm on H4 EAD and I want to transfer to the H1.
Okay.
And previously I was having the H1 and I consumed 5 years and 2 months out of the 6 years.
Got it.
And I had my M40 approved. So if I file my H1, do I get for 10 months or can I apply for the 3 years?
3 years. With an I-140 approval, you have 3 years. So you'll recalculate 10 months that's remaining, right? And you'll add on, saying from AC21 provisions, you have 2 more years that you're entitled to, so you'll get the total of 3 years.
Okay. Thank you very much for your reply.
Of course. All the best.
Thank you so much for your call. Going on to our next caller, Phanisha Radio. You're live on the air. Go ahead and ask your question to Pallavi.
Thank you very much for your...
Can you please turn off the radio before you ask your question?
Yes, the question is, what's happening with the dates, the green card dates? I see it's not moving at all. I have a green card that I filed way back in December 2008, and the date's not moving. Do we know what's happening there?
No, at this point, nothing visible. So we're talking about which country are you from? India? Okay,
Yeah.
EB2 category?
EB2, yes.
Yeah, so they're right now June of 2008 for...
yeah, that's where they've been for a couple of months now.
Yes.
So why is it not moving? Any idea?
No, it's how the Department of State uses their numbers. They probably have still a lot of people in those categories that are still getting their green card, so that's how they're holding on to those dates. You may see some progress, if at all, in the next few months, and let's see how that works, because really, you're right, it has been very slow. The visa bulletin has not been moving progressively at all, but at this point, it's just how they control the numbers.
Right, after July, it does not move at all, right?
Well, even so far, it's not moved much, right? So at this point, we don't know how many cases they have with those priority dates that are still being processed. We don't know that. We don't have that visibility.
Okay, thank you.
All the best.
Thank you for your call. Moving on to our next caller, Phanisha Radio. You are live on the air. Go ahead and ask your question, please. Phanisha Radio, you are live on the air. Do you have a question for Pallavi? All right. Moving on to our next caller, Phanisha Radio. You are live on the air. Please ask your question to Pallavi.
Yeah, actually, I have a question regarding my mother. She applied for the naturalization in November ending, but she haven't received the interview call yet.
Yeah, it does take a little while, sir. It takes about 8 months to 9 months before the entire process is over. So an interview call is set up only after the background checks are cleared. So at this point, if her fingerprinting is over, then they are still looking through the background checks. Besides that, they have a processing queue, and she may be just be waiting to be processed for an interview still.
So for the 8 months, we have to wait for the 8 months for the interview or for the oath?
it is about 6 to 8 months by the time your turn comes for the interview.
For the interview, right? 6 months.
Correct. 6 to 8 months.
Okay. Okay, thank you. And I have another question, like which file is good for my fiance file or marriage file, and what the duration time for that?
Yeah, so both of them take about, so the fiance visa currently, I mean, our recent experiences is going faster. It's, we have one of our recent cases that was approved in about 2 to 3 months. But otherwise, the entire process is supposed to take 6-7 months. And the green card application, roughly, if you get married to the person and apply for the I-130, and then it's sent out to the NVC and they can come in, takes roughly about 11 to 12 months.
All right, great. Thank you so much, Pallavi. That's all the time we have with you today. Thank you for coming on the airwaves of Anisha Radio 104.9 FM. Any final words for our listeners here?
Thank you for hosting me. And no, I'll be back next week and we'll talk more.
Thank you. You have a good day.